Welcome back to season number 4 with your Winnipeg Jets. And guys, I feel like this season's going to be pretty darn straightforward. I think we're a better team than the team that has won the President's Trophy for 2 consecutive years, winning the Stanley Cup this past year. But we do have to defend our title, and it starts here, season 4. Let's take a look at the lines and the special teams and all the stuff that's going on into this 4th season. And you guys can see we are going to split up the crazy efficient line of Connor, Scheifele, and Ehlers, simply because a guy like Rylan Sugihara is a sniper. He's really solid, medium elite at 19, 6'3", 194, right? He is the star of the future. Well, I guess maybe distant future, but still, nonetheless, we have Perfetti and Stankoven and probably Sugihara to eventually take the reins. I mean, Perfetti and Stankoven, I think, are hitting their primes, 24, 25. Anton Lundell is 26. He's on the third line as an 89 overall. It's absolutely insane. You can see his defense is off the charts. Good puck control, good offensive awareness. Obviously, nobody on our team is going to have good skating, but it is what it is. And he's playing with Brad Lambert and Jordan Dumais. I'm hoping that I can get Dumais to accept the line chemistry, because he just isn't right now. He said no, so I'll have to try that again on November 12th. And Lundell, I'm never going to get him to actually fit the third line because he's a second liner. But honestly, guys, I think it's totally fine. And then the fourth line, it's honestly pretty solid. One of the comments you guys did make is the lack of like role players, depth players, which I see that. And I'm hoping that that is not something that causes us to have a rougher season than anticipated. I honestly think with this much talent, though, it's going to be kind of hard for us to not have a good season. And in worst comes to worst, we move Sugihara down to play with Lambert and Dumais, and we move up Ehlers and then play Stankoven, Perfetti, and Lundell on that second line, and we kind of shake things out the way it really should. Taking a look at the blue line, though, chemistry-wise, we've got Spence and Gavrikov to both accept the chemistry. Now, Gavrikov wants to play on the second line. It is what it is. But Morrissey and Pionk still getting the +5. Anderson with Spence now getting a +3. And Gavrikov and Jones getting a +3. And our preseason boost really did help out Jones and Spence. Both guys are now an 85 overall. So this team is really looking good. And then in net, you guys know it's still Connor Hellebuck and Carter George. Hellebuck up to a 95. I challenged him to win the Vezina. I think it'd be great to see him have one of those seasons for us in the regular season. He did that for us in the postseason this year. So hopefully he does it, steps up his game just a little bit here in the regular season. Power play lines look like this. We've got Scheifele, Ehlers, Stankoven, Connor, Morrissey. It's a ridiculously good first power play. And then you look at the second power play. There's almost no drop off. You've got Perfetti, Lundell, Lambert, Pionk, and Sugihara. Really quality there. And then the penalty kill, which is the one that I was more concerned with. This is where Lundell is getting his ice time, right? He's going to be the number one dude for us to just throw out there to kill penalties. He's playing with Brad Lambert, who's a really solid two-way forward. Defensively, you can see he's got the stick checking. He's got the defensive awareness. He's really good at face-offs, so he should be fine there. Puck control, offensive awareness. If we need him to get the puck out of the zone or into the opposing zone, I think he's totally fine for Lambert there. Then the second pairing, we're going to lean more into Scheifele and some of our stars here. I guess to be the penalty killer. We have done this in the past where we've moved Scheifele up on the penalty kill, but now that Lundell is as good as he is, he can handle that by himself. Scheifele and then Sugihara, get this kid more ice time in all situations, right? He does get the penalty kill strategy because we got him to fit the first line. And then Gavrikov and Jones are going to be the defensive pairing here. And then penalty kill line 3 is Chibrikov and Perfetti. Chibrikov, probably don't want him taking faceoffs, so we're going to actually flip-flop these two, my bad. So Perfetti is going to take the faceoffs with 81 faceoffs, pretty solid actually. And then Pionk and Spence, 2 offensive defensemen. So I'm not in love with it, right? Obviously with 2 offensive defensemen, but Chibrikov, going to get him some ice time this way, and Perfetti, another guy that we're leaning into the top-end talent to kill penalties for us. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited for the start of this season, guys, so let's go ahead and get the sim rolling. So here we are, guys, 20 games into the season, and we are doing our same thing that we ended up doing in the postseason and most of last season, except our penalty kill was not 5th. I mean, honestly, guys, this team is insane, and sure, we were 13-3-4, so I don't know if we're as lofty as we've been. The Leafs are right there with us at 30 points this season, so that's our best competition where it looks like for the President's Trophy as of, the quarter mark of the season. But really, it's been shootout losses that have hurt us. So really not giving other teams tiebreakers over us and things like that. So the first half of the first part of the season was crazy. We were like 8 at one point. I believe we had gone like 8-0-4 or something like that. You can see here we started off with 2 shootout losses back to back, a win, a shootout loss, an overtime win, a win, a win, a shootout win, a win, a shootout loss, and we finally got our first regulation loss November 7th. Otherwise, we did lose to Colorado. They're still a good team, guys. Like, it's not going to be a cakewalk over everybody. 6-5 there against the Detroit Red Wings, who seem to be a pretty solid team, but it looks like we're playing tight games and finding a way to get a point in these shootouts. I haven't checked the box score if we're coming back or if we're blowing leads or not, but it looks really good over the last 5 games since those 2 losses. 6-2 win, 4-2 win, 5-2 win, 6-3 win, 5-3 win. Defense is there, offense is there, and you guys saw that, right? We are first in goals for per game at 4.6, 9th in goals against at 3.1, first on the power play at 40%, and 5th on the penalty kill at 87.9%, basically 88%. Mark Scheifele with 35 points in 20 games is absolutely crazy. Kyle Connor up there as well with a really, really good season. You can see that Sugihara is not quite keeping up with those two. He does have 13 points in 20 games. He's getting a ton of ice time. He's only at +2, so I'd like to see that be a little bit better. Obviously, when guys like Scheifele and Connor are getting so much on the power play, maybe I want to move Sugihara on the power play, but you can see Stankoven and Perfetti are both point per game players as well. Anton Lundell there with 12 points and a +6. Dumais with +8 and 10. He's got 7 goals. He's on pace for, I believe, 28, maybe 30. That would be insane if he could hit 30 this season. He's shooting 19%, so probably not too sustainable. But Brad Lambert doing his thing. 9 points +5. And the fourth line, well, it's been better. Like, again, the fourth line is the fourth line. Frank Nazar with 2 points. It's going to happen. Morrissey, though, challenged him to win the Norris again. He has 33 points in 20 games played. Yep, I think that's doing just fine. Pionk with 18 points in 20, so we have 2 basically point-per-game defensemen. Spence, Jones, Anderson are all minuses, but again, it's going to happen when they're not playing on the power play. So one thing I think I might do is flip-flop Sugihara and Stankoven, because I do want Sugihara to grow really, really quickly. And obviously he's having a good season, but I think maybe putting him on a power play that's 40% and he's going to have a ridiculous, like, I think it just makes sense to try and get this kid as much as I can. Oh, is he? I think I have to do this. Kyle Connor's a 97 now. This is insanely good. Yeah, there's Sugihara. I figured he was one of those guys. So we'll just quickly substitute Stankoven down to the second power play for Sugihara. But guys, we're going to keep rolling. Extension candidate is Jones. We don't have the cap space to talk to him now. We'll figure it out after the season. But there we go. That's the only small little change that I'm going to make. We're at the halfway mark of the season, guys, and we are on pace for 136 points, which would break the Boston Bruins record from the 2022-2023 season. We're on pace for only 62 wins. I say only 62 wins, which would not match Boston, but we have more overtime and likely shootout losses than we do regulation losses at this point, and that's insane. Oh, by the way, Kyle Connor has 80 points. We have the second best penalty kill, the best power play, the third best goals against per game, and the number 1 goals for per game. Guys, this team is absolutely simulating like you would have expected it when you looked at it on paper. Like, the fact that Scheifele and Connor are both, like, they're even on pace for 160 points. And then you can see that Ehlers even is at 47 points. So he's definitely getting some of the residual from the power play, but on the second line, he's getting the minuses. Sugihara's got 22 goals, 38 points. You can see he's really ticked up. So now he's at almost a point per game. He's up to an 83, up from his 82. He's starting to develop a little bit. You can see that offensive awareness has grown just a little bit. So things we love to see. And he's a +20. Perfetti, Stankoven, they're -9, -11. I don't really care at this point, honestly, guys. They're on pace for 60 and 72 points. The fact that they're doing that is exactly what I want them to be doing. Lundell with Lambert and Dumais looks like a great third line. They're pluses, which was something that we saw, is that our first line was all pluses and the rest of the team was minuses. But the fact that we have a third line that's actually in the positives, it's really encouraging to see. And then Nazar, Chibrikov, and Luchenko, totally fine as a fourth line. They're chipping in with some points, 20 points for my fourth line. Close to even, totally fine with it. Defensively, Morrissey is on pace for 132 points as a defenseman, +31. Neil Pionk 30 points plus 25. I mean, honestly, 60 points out of my defenseman would be fantastic if it wasn't for the fact that I have a guy who's on pace for 132. Spence, Anderson, and Jones still are the minuses, but I'm not upset with it because the team, guys, we have more shootout losses than regulation losses. Can I really be upset? And then Connor Hellebuck, I challenged him with a Vezina, 914, 258, and then Carter George. Would love to see Carter George play a little bit better. He's up to an 84, though, so clearly hasn't slowed him down from developing. Behind Connor Hellebuck. This is just phenomenal. I just want to take a quick peek across the entire league. He's definitely leading in wins. As far as save percentage, oh god, Sergei Bobrovsky's probably got him beat. I don't want to take a look at the goalies now because it's way too confusing. As far as skaters, oh yeah. Kucherov's sticking with those two up there. Kucherov is sticking with Scheifele and Connor. That's interesting to see that. Morrissey has the 5th most points in the league, period. Not just amongst defensemen. Of all, like, he's got more points than McKinnon, Matthews, Gensel, Bratt. Dude, this is crazy. 31, 4, and 6. Let's keep it rolling, guys. And here we are, guys, at the eve of the draft, or not the draft, the eve of the trade deadline. And we have clinched a playoff spot with 107 points through 63 games. We have 50 wins, 6 losses, and 7 overtime losses. Guys, this is the most insane performance I think I have ever seen in Chell. I mean, I've put together the best team I've ever put together with the chemistry just off the charts, and we are just doing phenomenally. You guys can see the team stats. Kyle Connor with 127 points at the 127 points at the deadline. But we're first in goals for at 4.76, second in goals against at 2.71. So we have the best offense, second best defense, the best power play still chilling at 39%, and the second best penalty kill up at 86.2%. So guys, I gotta say, I mean, hats off first of all to the coaching staff for getting the special teams. I did promote actually our AHL head coach Domi here to be the assistant coach who does the penalty kill. And you can see Scott Arneal with making the cup final and everything like that has just turned into the best coach in the game right now. He's never leaving. So McCardle, as well as his running mate there, could probably be an NHL head coach somewhere. Has 3 years left on his deal though. Domi, we're going to hope to hang on to as the coach, but hey, we got Gosted down here as the AHL head coach. He needs a little bit more time to season and grow. But honestly, the A+ coach influence is really nice to see. Penalty kill B-. That's kind of where I'm thinking he would go next. But we're not here to talk about the coaches. We're at the trade deadline. There's really nobody that I think I would. There's nothing to do. There's no moves to be made. There's nothing interesting here. We're not gonna get rid of Zach Jones. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get rid of just extend him or whatever. But like Chibrikov is expiring. Jones is a 79. His morale is probably tanked because he wants to, individual performance. Interesting. So maybe we do get rid of Zach Jones. He hates us. Individual performance is just through absolutely through the floor. Oh, maybe he would want less money? No, he still wants 5.3 for 6 years. So I won't be able to give him that. But Chibrikov, I believe, was the other. I was surprised to see Chibrikov as the number 1, but he's an 83. Really do like to see that. If I offer him an extension, 2 years at $1 million. That's not much. I mean, he's still an RFA. Could definitely give him that deal. Because we take a look at in the system, just skaters. We do have Bowman coming up soon as a low elite, 81 overall, 20-year-old sniper. Again, an offensive-minded guy, but if he fits the bottom 6, he fits the bottom 6. He's loving life right now. There's even Beckman here too. There's Wagner, Lahiru, Kupari, right? There's other options there that we could probably save that $1 million if we had to. And then the blue liners, right? I'm surprised to see that Zach Jones, is so upset. Listen, as a morale guy, I don't love to see, his individual performance isn't good. The team is great, but he hates me. So maybe I flip-flop him with Spence for a week and see how that goes. Because Spence is really happy. So maybe we can repair Jones. But at this point, if I were to find a trade for Jones, nobody's going to give me anything, I feel like. So we take a look at, by the way, we still have Landon DuPont. That's crazy that he's coming up eventually. But if we were to give away Zach Jones, actually, he's got a decent amount of value. But I don't love giving up a guy like this for whatever, just because he's upset, because he's playing well. There's no reason to, I think, give up on him. We'll see what giving him a bit more ice time. He hates me, so we'll see if I put him on that middle pairing and move Spence down, what that does. But and hopefully that ups the performance. But he should fit there just fine as well. And I think we'll be good. There's really nothing at the deadline unless I find like a young option maybe to switch with him. But I think for now we're going to be fine just doing this. If we get the +2, I think it's fine as long as Zach Jones gets a little bit happier. I'm cool with it. So I'm going to jump into the deadline, probably no updates, and then we can watch the end of the season and maybe, just maybe, win 15 of our remaining 19. 15 of 19 would be crazy. It's kind of the pace we're on, though, so we'll see. So I flipped through every team. There's a couple big names out there, like guys like Zach Benson, 22-year-old, medium elite, 85 overall, I believe he is. High elite playmaker, first line. They want a first line forward in return, 2 years at 7.6. He's exactly the kind of guy that I would love to go for, but I mean, we have so many players like that already that there's no reason to do it, and there's no reason to give up anything substantial. So line A, the Capitals are loading up. The Capitals got Ryan McLeod. I did look at a guy like Ryan McLeod. I think Ryan McLeod from the Sabres was one guy that they were going to give away for like Zach Jones. The Sabres are surprisingly selling off. Well, I shouldn't say surprisingly. It's kind of what they do all the time. Selling off. And I don't want to just go out and get like a Mason Appleton just to get him. And you know, some of these defenders just to make a change from Jones. We'll see if we can rebound Jones' morale on the middle pairing. It may cost us a chance at 65 wins and 135 points, but it is what it is. So I think we're going to go ahead, exit the deadline, and just see if we can... just keep it rolling, keep the good times going. And we lost to Vegas, but we did beat Vancouver, which was nice to see. You can see that, yeah, we're still chilling up there in the ridiculously high numbers stuff. So hopefully Zach Jones gains morale because of ice time, and he doesn't hate me as much. He hates management quite a bit. So we've got, let's get to the last 5 games. I think the five game stretch could be enough to make or break some of these records that we're going for. We are chasing history right now. 7-4 win there, love it. I mean, we may have to go a little bit more offensive with Jones, less overall. 3-2 loss there, don't love that. Against Boston, to protect their record, we win 7-2. Montreal, we are going to win there. New Jersey, we lose 3-1, so it's a little bit more even now, and it's probably because Jones is on the middle pairing. I'm not going to put it like all on his shoulders, but I'm going to say that the team isn't that well-oiled machine. I'm trying to make some players happy. We do win in a shootout. There we go. There's another shootout. Lots of entertaining shootouts for Jets fans this season. An 8-1 win over the Sharks. Against the lowly Ducks, we win 4-1 there. So there's our combination of offense and defense. Minnesota 9-2. Chicago 4-1. There we go. We have 60 wins. We need to win out to break the record for most wins in a season against Buffalo after selling. We are going to shut them out 3-0, and here we are, 61, 9-7 with 5 games to go. To tie Boston's record, we need to win 4 of our last 5. To break it, we need to win out here. We're at 129 points. We are, 8 points away? I think 6 points away from Boston's record. So 7 points in these last 5 would get us the record for most points in a season. Just winning out would get us the record for most wins in a season too. So we're going to kind of go game by game here, see if we can make some NHL history. Don't let it, okay, there we go. I was going to say, don't let it end here. The dream for the most wins in a season ever. And on that 5th last game, the one I stopped for. We have the LA Kings. What are the LA Kings playing for? The LA Kings are not really playing for much, just kind of trying to lock up their spot. They only have 2 games left. We have 3 games left. That doesn't make sense. We have 4 games left. Oh my god, duh. Okay, I'm doing my math wrong. They have 3 games left against LA. Don't punish me for bad math, please. 3-2, Hellebuck. Boost for performance. You'll love to see that. 133. All right, we are 1 win away from tying the Bruins record for most points in an NHL season, and 2 wins away from breaking the points, tying the win record. We do have this game against Colorado is probably the one that is circled to be the decider. Everybody else we're playing is about 500 or lower. At Nashville here, it would make sense for us to drop it against a bad team. And here we go. History could be made against Colorado. 65 wins, 135 points. We've tied the record for most points. Can we tie the record for most wins in an NHL season? Against Colorado, we're going to win 5-2, and there it is. We've set the record for most points by an NHL team in a single season, and now the only thing that stands in our way from setting the NHL record for most wins in a season are the Calgary Flames. Can we do it? Game 82. Is it gonna be? It is a win, and an emphatic 5-0 win, and we have made NHL history. 66 wins in an 82 game schedule, 66, 9, and 7, 139 points, breaking the record from Boston by 4. Most wins in an NHL season, breaking the record by 1. I can't believe we just made history like that, guys. This team every year has gotten better and better and better. And we've got 100. They were on pace for it, and they sure hit it. How did the team? They're not going to show me the team. Because Morrissey is going to win the Norris again for sure. I mean, he's the 5th most points in the NHL. There's no way he doesn't win it. Let's take a look at the team stats. I do want to see where we ranked amongst the goals for. Obviously, points, we are just by far and away the best team. 60 regulation and overtime wins, 58 regulation wins. So we did most of our damage in regulation, which, I mean, a team as good as us would make sense. You guys can see we are 4.82 goals for per game, almost a full goal for above Colorado, who was in second. Goals against per game, we were number 1 offense, number 1 defense. Colorado was number 2 and number 2. Colorado's team must be real freaking scary then. Power play, though, they did it mostly at even strength. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty impressive. 12% better than the Dallas Stars, who were in second. So we had the number 1 power play. Penalty kill, we're going to have the number 1 penalty kill. Only 19 goals against, only 149 times shorthanded. We were almost never shorthanded, and that might be because of our power play. We were always on the power play, which means we never went down shorthanded. We were always scoring. 9 shorties for, too. And that is crazy. We almost scored more shorthanded goals for than power play goals against. Now, okay, it was by 10, but like, show me somebody else with that kind of that ratio, right? That's pretty darn good. 33, 5, and 3 at home, 33, 4, and 4 on the road. So slightly better on the road by 1 point. I mean, come on, we're not going to really haggle over that one, are we? But here we go. It's time to take a look at the points for our players. And whoo, baby, Sugihara's rookie season. I know. I should be more freaking out about Kyle Connor with 68 goals, Scheifele with 67. Both players essentially having 160 points, 63 power play points for Kyle Connor, plus 65, plus 73 for Scheifele. Morrissey with 131 points for it. Guys, that might be the record for most points by a defenseman in NHL history. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, and I don't, I'm gonna look it up. And unfortunately, Morrissey isn't gonna break that record. It's set by the great Bobby Orr. But when you're chasing Bobby Orr records, you're doing something right. We'll stay focused on the forwards for now before we go look at the rest of the defensemen. Ehlers with 96 points. Like, I love to see the fact that Ehlers took the demotion to the second line and isn't really that upset. Like, look at the management. He's still loving management. He's not loving his teammates. I think he would like some better teammates, but I can't really blame him. But Sugihara in his rookie season is gonna put up 51 goals, 40 assists, and you can see third eye now. He's now got third eye. I didn't know if he was gonna get the goals on that first line, right? I wasn't sure how he was gonna simulate. But you can see that 51 goals, 40 assists in his rookie season, plus 65, 346 shots. So now we know that Rylan Sugihara is a shooter. You can see he's got that great shooting category, and it's only going to get better as we keep going here. But, like, man, he didn't show that in juniors at all. I was a little worried, but I don't think we have to be worried anymore. His giveaway to takeaway ratio, he hits 2 at 6'3". The 20-year-old center looks like a stud. Oh, speaking of studs, we have pluses all over, guys. Plus 9 for Perpetti, plus 8 for Stankoven. Both of those guys with 60 points. They both got third eye because I challenged them to get 40 assists. So Ehlers, thankfully, is that sniper on the second line, did really, really well. And these both of these guys are going to improve that there. I think I challenged Ehlers to get 50 goals. He didn't get it, but he already developed gold wheels. He didn't have a gold when I challenged him, so I'll take it. I'll take gold wheels. Anton Lundell, 46 points from the third line. You love to see that. Brad Lambert, 35 points. Dumais, listen, his rookie season, third line scoring forward. Can I talk to him about matching the third line? I wanted him to get 30 goals, and he seemed to be on pace to do it. Scheme fit. There we go. Look at that. Can you fit the third line for me? Boom. Oh, that's going to be glorious going into the postseason here. Absolutely love the fact that he just did that for me. And then Frank Nazar, Chibrikov, and Luchenko. Nazar is the only guy that was not a plus of the forwards. I know Lundell was even, but really, really impressed by this team to see that the plus minus was so good for us. That's been it's been tough for us. But hey, when we don't allow any goals against, best goal against in the league, it's probably hard to get a minus. But Nazar with 24 points, I'll take that on the fourth line. Chibrikov, Luchenko, totally fine with that. Luchenko hates me, like absolutely hates my guts, but hey, we're winning, so just pipe down. And then on the blue line, Pionk did challenge him to get a plus 25 on the season, so hopefully that's already factored into his defensive awareness, which is now he honestly would be an elite number one defenseman if we didn't have Josh Morrissey. Holy mackerel. I can't get over Josh Morrissey, guys. He's going to win the Norris again. That's absolutely insane. He's going to win the Norris again. Spence took that demotion to the third line and third pairing and just did fine. 84 overall, still 30 points, I should say. Gavrikov and Jones did well. Jones, he hasn't bounced back. It doesn't look like he's bounced back. Game morale for winning the President's Trophy. So I think maybe we'll just put Jones on the third pairing and let him walk. He's upset. I don't think we're going to be able to bring him back. I don't want to give him $5 million. Definitely not. Not with Spence now probably taking his slot. Gavrikov and Anderson, really, really good seasons for these guys too. I mean, you can see that everybody's just had a ridiculously good season on the team. Blocks, giveaways, takeaways. Not really many takeaways for our defense, but a lot of giveaways. At this point, the giveaways, they're low enough that I'm not too worried about it. And then in goal, Connor Hellebuck, 57 wins, 918, and a 238. I think we're going to be taking home some silverware this season. Let's take a look across the entire league. It's Kyle Connor, number 1. Mark Scheifele, number 2. Kucherov, then Point, but then Morrissey. The fact that Morrissey is number 5, above Kaprizov, above McKinnon, Gensel, like that is crazy. I did challenge Kyle Connor to win the Rocket Richard. He got so dang close. Nathan McKinnon, though, with 72 goals. That's crazy. The fact that we had Connor and Scheifele both in the high 60s, that even close, is ridiculous. Taking a look at the defenseman, though, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be Josh Morrissey. I was going to say if Cale Makar came close, like because of McKinnon's 72 goals, more power to him, but 50 more points than the next highest defenseman. And he was plus, 26 better than Makar. That is crazy with the power play points, too. And now, did Hellebuck win the Vezina? Goalies that started the majority of their games. He had the best save percentage, and I believe he's going to have the best goal against average. Connor Hellebuck is going to win the Vezina for us. Oh my goodness, he's going to win. He won it in 23-24, which was before I started, I believe. Yeah, it definitely was, because we started in 24-25. So anyway, he's going to win the Vezina for us. And obviously, guys, we know it's going to be Sugihara that's going to win the Calder. Gavin McKenna did well, 62 points on the Blue Jackets. Not bad. He's got plenty of X factors, right? I'm hoping that Rylan Sugihara can develop those. Morozov on the Penguins, 49 points, but 34 goals for this guy as a two-way forward. That shot, I was worried about the shot power, but the accuracy's there. I don't know. This guy looks really, really good. The Penguins, obviously, we'll see what Landon DuPont turns into, but it looks like he had a really, really solid year playing on the fourth line, although they played him on the power play. Like power play and fourth line is like what they gave him. So he had 14 power play goals. Still 20 goals at even strength is really, really good. Did they play? Oh, no, they didn't play him. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't be ready yet. But man, oh man, guys, it is one heck of a season, setting records, winning trophies. And who do we get in the first round of the playoffs? It'll be the Connor Bedard-led Chicago Blackhawks, 93 points. The LA Kings will take on the Canucks. That's kind of a weak matchup. We do have, it's like the 5th best team, 6th best team in the playoffs that we have to take on. I'm not too worried about it, guys. I think this was fantastic. I think we do just let Zach Jones walk and we just continue to let the young guys come up And then when maybe we need to have a conversation about the old guys. Who knows? But that's not going to happen until after the postseason for sure. But that is all the time I have for this one, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all.